Hello, hello. Welcome in. It's your girl Vicki Street. Welcome to the Dynamic Women in Music Part 2 conversation. Let's get these people in here. All right, cool. So I want to kick this off and thank y'all for joining me this morning on the last day of Women's History Month. So we did this conversation last year and it was pretty cool. So shout out to the Loop Network for approaching me, wanting to collab with my company, Jump Street Entertainment, to do this. So I will start off as the host introducing myself. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Vicki Street. You know, the rap goddess from the Shy, the MC y'all been knowing and loving for a decade now, who does creative direction and a whole bunch of more stuff to the point where I had to create an entertainment company. But at this point, I'm excited to have this conversation with someone who also spends a great deal of time now DJing as well, and curating events. And so I would love to get to know you all a little bit more. You know, I know Jovan, we went to school together. I don't know Miss Pha Baby like that, so we gonna get to know each other some more. But for the people who are watching right now and the people who are going to be watching, I want you all to introduce yourselves. So I'm gonna start off with Jovan, and then we'll go with Miss Pha Baby.
All right, what's going on? I'm Jovan Landry, also known as the one-third filmmaker, one-third photographer, and one-third MC. I also produce. I'm a bodybuilder. I'm a mashup DJ. I do a whole bunch of things when it comes to athleticism and creativity. I've been doing this since about 2012. And yeah, I'm still kicking and going. And I've been gracious to be able to perform internationally, nationally. Speaking of Women's History Month, I put out the first all women produced, perform, and engineered hip hop album called Synergy, based all in Chicago. And so, yeah, I'm happy to be here. And thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for that.
Awesome, Joe.
Love the bodybuilder aspect.
Okay, yeah, okay. Well, you already know what it is. It's your girl,
Hey.
Baby, aka A Baby, his bae, her bae, your bae, the powerhouse princess of the South, the ghetto goddess. What's up? I'm tapping in, straight out of Atlanta, Georgia. I am an actress, artist, host, producer, director. Amongst, like you said, just a whole powerhouse. Is why I am the powerhouse princess of the South. It's just all things entertainment. It's just the gift I was given from God. You know, because I can't swim, I can't fly. You know, I'm scared of heights and anything. You know, that would require supernatural gifts. So we're gonna stick with the cool ones that I was given. Just been out here for a good while. You know, started from the ground. Been putting a lot of things into motion in Atlanta, made some great connections and had a lot of productivity in film and in being able to be behind the pen and in front of the mic in music, and now into TV. Productions, and super excited to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm excited to get this conversation because her story is his story. And what we doing?
You hear me?
Period.
So look, with all that being said, because it sounds like all of us do a whole lot of things, and I want to kick off the topic on that because I have had some people act like it's almost an inconvenience that I'm multi-talented. What? Like, they act like they can't wrap their hands around the fact that I'm split with tentacles and I got 8 arms and I could do this. You feel me?
Right.
You know, people want to put you in the box. So I wanted to know if you all had any advice on artists or creatives being multi-talented and how to streamline that without being all over the place.
I've been getting that for years because people would be like, if you had to choose one, or you should have 3 different pages. And then it's like, that's too much. That's doing too much for me as the one person having to manage all that. If you really think about it, all artists are multifaceted. We just know them as one thing. But like when I think about Eve, the rapper, she rapped, but she also had her own show, acted and everything like that. So we all do it. But how you put it all together is like, for example, with myself being a filmmaker, I create my own content for social media. I know how to visualize a music video or edit my own music video. And that's not necessarily me doing all these different things. I'm doing it in the background. So it's definitely possible. You just have to, what I learned recently is making it harmonious versus trying to balance it. How do you make it all live in harmony? So yeah, that's just like one example I can give with how you can be, a music artist and a content creator. It all lives together. So that's one advice I can give.
That's a great question. And as anyone else, I received that criticism or the question about whether or not you were mindful of maybe like a crown gift, or like what is your headpiece anchored on. And I think it's unfair, so I always take that conversation and I pull certain individuals out of entertainment that go against that mold, and demonstrated that you can use all of those gifts at once. He's not a woman, but Jamie Foxx is a great example of that. How it was impossible to put him in a box. It's impossible to have him act and do his comedy and disregard that he has official or formal acting training and understand how that translates in film, and try to hide that he's also singing very well while he's at the piano. So it's I say there are truly people who are these hybrid humans. And as an entertainer, you understand that you have to be marketable and have to be packaged well. So you can't really act and not know how to model. You're model inadvertently from acting because you're having to model someone's story. And when you have photography, which is what film is, a director of photography, it's a motion picture. So you end up capturing a lot of images at one time. So you end up having to model and act and be versatile. And if you're going to act, you have to know how to present yourself. And sometimes the story get colorful enough to where you have to creatively direct that even in your scene somewhere. So that's how your Denzel Washingtons and Viola Davis gets the opportunity to get into their work, into their scenes, and be more of a actor director, Michael B. Jordan, so forth and so on. So it's almost impossible for you to tell someone who does have those gifts honest to figure out which one you want to hone in on the most. You're going to end up using one of them or all of them to collect your 10,000 hours at expertise time that you're supposed to have before someone declares you an expert in something. But within those 10,000 hours, you're likely to, even if you just start, like for myself, if I just focus in on acting, eventually the director in me is going to come out because I'm going to want to lead or share how I think creatively this scene can be done better, because I'm looking at it from a consumer standpoint. I'm in it, so I understand how I'm portraying it, and I edit, so I know how this is going to film. I know how this is going to play out in the edit room. So I don't think it's fair, and I always toss it out and be like, you can't put me in a box. Get with it. And if you don't understand how that interprets, that's why we have social media, so that we can provide you that depiction.
Mm-hmm. And you understand the language of the other person. You gain like an appreciation for the director, for the editor. And it's multiple streams of income as well. Like eventually you may not want to do acting for forever. You want to switch over and do something else. So it's okay to be multifaceted. We all, that's just like you said, like that's just the human nature of what we do.
Mm-hmm. And music, obviously, I hate taking out the music. The music literally is the emotion of the film. So we know how to separate the different parts of our brain, give different parts of our hearts, and it's a disservice to people who have those multiple gifts to tell them to do that. And no one told Michael Jordan he couldn't play baseball, so leave me alone. An athlete is an athlete, and an artist is an artist, a creative is a creative, a producer is a producer. They're going to do the things. You can put them in any environment, more than likely they'll figure out how to produce in it.
Absolutely. So look, I can already tell we finna drop gems because we dropping them right now. And in the essence of time and making a good, concise conversation, I kind of I want to like forward the conversation in terms of, we mentioned that, we've been doing this for a while. Being that, all of us have been in the game for 10 plus years, we're women of a particular age. We have a string of women actually of particular ages that are like in the rap game, for instance. And I wanted to use that as an example to preface this question, which is, how do y'all feel older women artists should evolve with the times while still being themselves, but trying to capture the attention of the audience? And when I say the audience, I mean the mainstream people of today, which is usually catered towards like a younger generation. How do you do that while still being true to yourself? Because I feel like it's either gonna be two ways. You got the end of the spectrum of, oh, I'm gonna turn auntie. I ain't even know auntie. Like, shoot, I love the same stuff y'all love. And then you got the other end of the spectrum, like, I'm grown with degrees. I got morals. I got things that I care about. Like, I want to rap about lymphoma or whatever. I want to rap about, I want to rap about things. I don't even know. I'm just throwing out stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to rap about cholesterol and like going to get your checkups and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to rap about some things that we need to be caring about right now. Like, how do y'all think that people, of a particular age or stature should be making music these days to still remain relevant, but also just knowing like we've lived through some things, so we got some experiences that we could be shedding light on that's very important. I feel like I'm giving a little bit of my answer maybe in it, but I want to give it to y'all first to answer.
I say, I look at my stats. My demographic is people that's my age. So basically that's to say I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. The people that's going to gravitate towards is going to gravitate towards it. And music is universal. So somebody's going to like it no matter how old they are. But I know from what I look at, people who like my music happen to just be like in that like 25 to 35 age range. So yeah, I'm not going to force myself to get along with somebody that's younger. That's just not me, and that's not authentic. And we live in a social media world where regardless even of social media, everybody has their audience. So go where you're loved and talk about what's true to you and what feels good to you. Even if if you're 35 and you feel like where you are in life, you feel like you're 25, then go with that. But don't ever do something that's not authentic to you or just feels forced. So that's what I've learned throughout my decade plus of being in this industry, is that you're going to have people that like you. So gravitate towards that. Go where the love is.
I think that's a very good question. And so I'm a little bit, I agree with Jovan wholeheartedly, because that's how you end up not trying to mutate. You don't have to become a chameleon. I also, in the same breath, do a lot of assimilating, because I feel like there's not any environments that I can't go in as of yet. There's no cookouts I won't be able to blend in, because I'm just aging gracefully, and I try to stay current. I try to stay trending, and I believe, in the power of media and marketing. Everything about media and marketing is figuring out what they want to see and hear and what makes them move. So I believe in, if you don't have the point of view, because you're not in the schools, you're not on the universities where they are, you're not, the neighborhoods, what they look like today, where they kicking it at, you have to find the trailblazers to collaborate with, to bridge together. Because the point is that, y'all, Dave, if you want to go there, really, I'm big sis, but I got something to say, and I have a responsibility to shepherd y'all. So I'm gonna kiki with you, have a little content, clickbait or whatever it is that I think brings you in, so that I can save you, put you in the boat. So I don't have a problem doing things that may not be age appropriate according to certain regions of the country. When you get to about 35, you're supposed to be settling down, covering up, and clutching pearls. I don't give a big knock. Okay, I say, I don't believe you should age yourself out, because then that's when you lose the opportunity to reach them. So, in hip hop, because I MC as well. I'm a rapper. I rap. I figure out how to continue to just keep a belt loop around what's trending, what's relevant, so that you end up just kind of moving with the times. You can age. You can almost somewhat be ageless before you start to have to be grandma, before you be big aunt, before you have to be, she's the godmother, before you get there, you can kind of, because Beyonce she's a great example of it. She just don't get tired. She never loses it. Her marketing researchers, whomever is doing it, to make sure that her music stays consistent with everything we need to hear and everything she controls. It's almost like you don't end up losing it, because they never get a hold to it. Because if you are a trailblazer, you always hold the pulse of hip hop industry. You hold the culture in your hand. They end up making variations off of you. So as long as you just kind of have leadership, creative leadership, you find out what they saying in the little click words, what's trending on social media, you'll never be out of touch. I think social media is a great way to keep us all up to date on everything current.
I like that, and I like that you said that you feel like you should like pair with the younger person, like to bridge the gap or whatever. Mm-hmm. I think that's really important. That's low-key kind of sneaky, but it works though. For sure. That's like, so
Kevin Hart is on internet streaming.
That's
a
game.
Almost 50-year-old man with a 20-some-year-old boy. Like, you just have to figure out who kind of meets the younger you, so that you can continue to reach the younger thems.
Yeah.
That
helps you evolve.
Right,
it helps you evolve. It bridges the.
I ain't gonna lie. Some of these big artists need to hear that, because without even having to say no names, we have examples of, we've seen some of the OGs not being so receptive to some of the younger women coming up, and they looking up to you, and you beefing with them. You mad? What you mad for? You already maybe had what they trying to get before them, or maybe you didn't get that particular thing or that particular award, but like, you gotta know this. Shoot, everybody got their own accolades, and so I don't know. I just wish that everybody could hear what you just said right there, and take that into account when it comes to like the OGs in the game, because that's how you keep this thing moving forward. So, boom, we got that.
Right. To piggyback off that, it's an ego thing, because the thing is that people want to be like, you could never be the Lil Kim. I'm the Lil Kim. Like, I'm the Lil. Right. She's not trying to be a Lil Kim. She is the, who came out the Lil Kim?
Nicki Minaj.
Yeah. She's not the Little Kim. She's the Nicki Minaj. She's the Nicki Minaj, but she's of her time. That it girl like you were. It's a torch pass, a crown adjust. It's a I see you, I appreciate you. Do what you let me help you with what help me in this space, being that girl, getting all that attention, and having all that pressure, and trying to stay relevant, trying to stay beautiful, trying to stay hip, trying to stay trending. Let me help you, and you keep me as long as the YN show homage and honor. And the
to the
OG, so respect. It can all connect, but you have to be a girl, and you can't have greed and pride issues. That's you need therapy. Okay.
You basically said it. You said it all. Like, I think we came to the conclusion that quickly what to do if you were OG and you see some young girls that's dope coming up. It ain't even just strictly two women, but I don't hear about this happening so much in the male realm of things. It be the woman aspect. So that's just weird energy. Let's just not move weird. And that's just period. Yeah, and that's just period. And that's also like, when it comes to how are we getting all of this stuff done by ourselves? Jovan is 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. But it's like, what the team's at too. You know, I notice a lot of black women take on everything themselves. And this is a conversation I've been having with a lot of my good girlfriends lately, because that's just like a streak that's like been embedded in black women, because we've seen it from our moms and our grandmas, and they give everything to everybody before they give themselves. And so just wanted to know how you all have been navigating your success. Has it just always been by yourself? Do you have a team now? And do you get help from the men? What's that like? Do you have, or do you only just work with women? Like, a lot of women have all women teams on purpose, and I think that's dope. And then other women have stories like me where I can attribute a certain percentage of my success to the guys who've been able to keep their, you know, their urges in check long enough to help a sister out, put a sister on some game, like teach me some DJ techniques, whatever it may be. So I just wanted to quickly shout out and plug the fellas who've been doing that. Shout out to Kid Breeze. You already know how we rocking. So I wanted to know, do y'all have any stories like that?
I don't mind working with men or women as long as you are of quality and you're dope at what you do, that you have good intentions behind what you do. For a long time, I've worked by myself doing this, but I'm open to collaboration, because that's what it's about. When you're an artist, you have to collaborate. That's how you grow as an artist. I now have a management team that are husband and wife duo. So that's been really helpful. And I'm still looking for a team. I would love to have a person that does my video, so I'm not doing it by myself, or at least shooting it so that I can edit it. So yeah, I'm being more open-minded to having, even on a collaboration tip, the people behind the scenes, not just like, you know, producers or rappers that I'm doing songs with, but also on like creating the material as well, like the content aspect. So yeah, I'm it's always just hitting me in the head, because I'm like, I'm too full now. I need help. So I'm not
And it's
afraid to
okay
ask for
to
help.
know that.
Yes.
Please get to ask for that. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Kudos, Jovan. I have been a one man show in terms of being the nucleus of the brands, and the concepts and ideas and projects that I pioneered. I've had the pleasure of working in collectives and in teams, amongst other projects that have now given me a like a tribe or a family to pull from when there are things that I need. And with one of my current projects, I produce a sketch comedy show, or a live skit ensemble show that has residency on a touring basis with different venues here. And I would be remiss to even suggest that I was able to build that well sought out and highly anticipated live tape show coming to Hip Hop Network TV coming soon. Okay. I would be remiss to say that I was able to do that without a team. It has been an entire collective initiative behind the scenes, whether it's official or unofficial, in terms of counseling, planning, preparing, etc. I mean, I have an agent, you know, they're all women. They kind of manage some things. But men, if I'm honest, men have been more of the contributors to my success in some way. I have some women. I'm a girl's girl, but sometimes it's just kind of the way that the sexes go. You know, I just imagine if there is an opportunity, who's going to be more exuberant about selling me, and anything I have going on. There are some women who are like, no, she's amazing. You got to work with her. They really put the blowhorn on me, as I do, I do to them, and others alike. But in terms of like, really kind of being the muscle behind certain things, I've had a little bit more enthusiasm or follow through with some of the men that I've worked with, and it's probably just because have a motivation. Maybe it's the art of attraction. Nonetheless, the women that I've had the pleasure of working with or working alongside with before they get to a place of jealousy, envy or comparison, um, they've done a great job with what they were given for the seasons that they operated in. So I would say it's impossible to do it alone. I do realize that you have to be what you want. So I did see a direct correlation with being able to get the hands, arms, and backs of those to serve me in any capacity. uh God sent them as God sent me to somebody else. So I rolled up my sleeves and was like, hey, I'm not the superstar right now. I'm not the social lead. I'm not the local celebrity right now. I am here servant. My chain is off. My diamond, nothing's on. My fashions are not on. I'm here to serve. I'm here to help. And it's an automatic part of me. It's something you have to extend beyond your family, because the people you meet in the world become your family. So I'm like, hey, you need help. I'm just in the environment, and for the hour or two that I was there, I'm going to make an impact. And so now what I inadvertently see is that when people come into my sets or my environment, they're trying to help out as well. Not the same people. It's just another person that God used. So you have to be what you want to attract, and you can't do it alone. The way God blesses us is through people. You need to find your tribe. You need to identify them and empower them and delegate them ASAP, attract them ASAP. And they should be a combination of both men and women, because we both bring two totally different dynamics to the table that work together very harmoniously.
True. I know some women have intentional all women teams, and I think that's dope.
Incredible.
But there's some things that we can glean from men too, and
Absolutely.
sometimes men just get stuff done as well
Yeah.
in a whole nother different type of way too. Like, I was just being interviewed and somebody asked me, like, who are some of the women DJs who have helped you out? Or I was like, I'm not throwing shade or nothing like that, but there hasn't. It wasn't the women. I'm not saying that they were being mean. It's just it wasn't. It was the guys that was like, hey, yeah, I got you. Like, come on, you can come be in the booth. I got you. I'm gonna teach you this, that, and the third. It's not like that all the time, maybe for everybody, but that was just something that I noticed. And sometimes, to your point, it could be because guys have ulterior motives and they're like, gonna try to slide in and see. But I think you'll know. Like, it's about discernment too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, it seems like there's always some little silver lining of they might could be a little sweet on me. And that's fine as long as you keep it in check. But to that point, I did want to know, because once again, this is a dynamic women in music conversation, and there has been an underlying theme all throughout the history of music of women trying to progress on in the industry, and then they meet this big boss man that they gotta go through to get to where they trying to go to. And I wanted to know if you all had any stories that you would like to share of a time where maybe you was trying to do a certain thing, get to a certain place, whatever it's trying to be, and there's this guy who has the power to make that happen or not, or help you get there. Maybe they're not even the boss of it, but it's just like, bro, you work there, or like, you got that connect. You know what I'm saying? Or you could have just been the one to do this for you. Could have been the one to mix that for me, or whatever. Like, what has been y'all's experience when it comes to, working with men, and maybe they have promised something, exposure or something like that, in exchange for maybe something else? And how did y'all deal with that? Because this is very important. There's maybe a young lady somewhere that is feeling a little pressured in this situation, and I want to try to give some pieces of advice.
I can honestly say I've never been through that experience before. I think
Shout out
also,
to you.
right. I think people also look at my demeanor and know that I ain't gonna play that. So, I mean, I've had people tell me, which I don't personally understand, about being intimidating, like off of like first glance. But I know like my aura can kind of like be a little bit like militant, or just like I'm pretty like observant of people. but yeah, no, I never had anyone make advances at me in order to get an opportunity. I would say any opportunity I've gotten has been requested for me to do, or I reach out personally and I say, I would love to be a part of this. How can I be a part of it? Um, yeah, so I can't really say, but I mean, my advice would just be never do something where you have to stoop low to get an opportunity. Um, I mean, some people do it. I've heard stories, but you know, like that's just not that doesn't fit my morals. I could not put myself through that just for an opportunity. It's not that serious, and I know that it's always just going to come around tenfold eventually. You know, this industry is not a overnight success. It takes 10 years to get places or to get to get developed to be, where you want to be. If you want to do the quick way, then you can do that, but it ain't going to last long in my opinion. So,
Bars.
you know, yeah.
You sound like you know some.
I was gonna say, I mean, I'm so grateful for the favor that covered and protection that covered your life and your career, but that you didn't have that testimony. Everybody's not built to be able to share that story. It shouldn't be a common her story. There should be examples of what it looks like to get it, to have a clean, journey. That's a beautiful story. Poster, put that on a milk carton. Why don't we? Um, I do have I would say I have a sexy brand, and I don't know if it's sexy brand because that's the word people put. I have a brand that enjoys my femininity and my and my energy, my skin, and and loves capturing in a bottle what it looked like to feel colorful and bright and seen and appreciative of herself in the rhythms and the flows that she felt like doing at that time. When I become a grandmother, it may be different. When I'm a great grandmama, it may be different. I don't know. So being a person who's I mean, sexy, have a sexy brand, the first thing that people assume is that I must be sex oriented. It's the furthest thing from the truth. They have to go through that hazing process to figure that out on the back end, and I'm okay for that. I'm okay with that, but I've definitely had my opportunities manipulated and had music held up. It's music I've never even seen again after I recorded it, based on an ultimatum. The stories you see on Love and Hip Hop, those are real. Your song, the opportunity, the momentum, the focus, the things that was promised you can get redirected based on your cooperation or lack thereof. That's a true, that's an element of the industry, and it applies to both men and women. I'm very mindful that some guys are like, no, that I had to do stuff too, but okay, but this is for the women. Because it's a male dominated industry, and you have a lot of gatekeepers who happen to be male. My advice to the women who may encounter that because you choose to show your waistline or enjoy your bust line, or accentuate your hips, or put on makeup, and or whatever the things that you do that draw people into you, that you just might be feeling like I feel pretty, I feel hot, I feel like a badass. I'll never be 40 again. I'll never be 30 again. I'll never be 22 again. I want to look like the badass 22-year-old I am. I want to talk about certain things, and I want to fit the brand. I want to be able to do this and not be demonized or categorized, ostracized, or I don't want to be preyed upon because of it. My encouragement is to surround yourself with people who are your gatekeepers. One, so that they could be the eyes and ears and armor bearers for you, so that when you go in these environments, that people are more intimidated, if not by you, by the people that protect you. um I would say I would also encourage them to trust the process, and not compromise, because like you said, it's either short-lived or it's a difficult path to manage. It gets like off the protocol book. We don't have advice for you there. It's like survival of the fittest at that point. If you decide, I mean, you could be a situation where You screwing your DJ. I mean, you screwing your producer. Could Summer Walker you? That's your business. I mean, but is she with him still? You know, you have to look at it as a means to an end. It has to be. You have to understand that you're going to have. It's going to have its own packages and its own burdens. If you want to go that way, that's your business. I can't tell you what you do with your cat, but I don't recommend it because it's not every day that it's a love affair that ends up turning out where the producer is also just as much, or the whatever, again, is the A&R or the whomever, you know, the VP of the record label is just as much in love with you as you are him. It's a love affair, you know. I mean, because there's people in the music that marry their manager. Nicki Minaj married to her manager. Kelly Rowland was married to her manager. Like, if it is a love connection, because a lot of, I mean, what is it? Not Kim's mom. She started to, you know, date her daughter. Like, if someone that's with you all the time in the process, and you start to develop affection because they're just that interested in you as a brand, that's natural.
Transition into saying, if we have some people in the audience who have a question they want to ask, now is the time to do so. And while they're typing their questions, I wanted to ask y'all if y'all have any upcoming projects or anything that y'all working on that y'all want to promote to the people.
I do have a new song out called "Means So Much," and I got some good feedback from that song because I, you know, sharing my lover side, my lover girl side, and it's just having me just get inspired to just share more of myself in my music, be a little bit more vulnerable. So I'm working on a new song right now that's going to come out next month. So just stay in tune. Please follow me here on Instagram, J Leslie Monique, and my YouTube page is under J Leslie Monique as well. Because this year we're going to start being more consistent when it comes to putting out videos, music, all the things that I love to do as a creative. And yeah, so just stay in tune, stay locked in.
All right, for sure.
Bring it, all the things. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yes. So currently, we are wrapping up season 1 of Skit Sound and Soul. The Schizo Gang presents Skit Sound and Soul. It's a live taping of our actual show, but it's a series. It's a series that pulls many. It's a mini series that pulls storylines from the Schizo show into like a regular series form. So very interesting combination to show. They're very unique. I know I'm trailblazing some things, so I'm excited for the release of that because it was in my brain. And just like in Love and Color was in that whole family, the Wayne's family, their brain, and it was just never done, and we just did it. So it was adopted as like pivotal in history for comedic sitcoms or comedic show. What do you call that? What do you even call it?
Sketch comedy.
Sketch comedy show.
Sketch comedy.
Mm-hmm. However you classify it, right? It's historic. So yes, that releases this year. We're wrapping up our live show on April the 8th at Uptown Comedy Corner. So please come out and be a part of our live show audience. You're guaranteed to have a good time. As an appreciation for Spring Bling, we do have a free power shoot brought to you by So Official Show Out and the whole So Official gang. So you can come get some very professional photos done by that photography group. As just a thank you for coming to our show and enjoying our very new set of skits and new comedians that are joining the show. As well as we're starting to shoot Dating in Atlanta is Hard in May. So that's thank you, best show. I appreciate that. It is voted the best show in Atlanta. I'm so excited about that. Thank you, baby. And so we will wrap it up in April, and then we'll start to shoot Dating in Atlanta in May. We also will have a Memorial Day pool party for all of our fans and followers to come Glow Up With Us Poolside Schizo Style. And I'll be in Vegas with the Loop Network shooting One Way to Vegas, the competition. So we're excited about that. Uh, Keisha loves your show. Thank you. We're excited about that, and I'm currently shooting a sitcom called A Village World, and there's next up is coming out in April as well. It's just a lot of stuff. Yes, music. Yes, TV. My mixtape inspired by Doechii, because it's like I believe a mixtape is being dominant. I mean, between Doechii and Nicki Minaj, or is it no Cardi B? Cardi B. Between them, showing me that a mixtape can get you a Grammy is just extraordinary. So there's music that I didn't get cleared because of the gatekeepers who are men. So I don't have rights to use the beats officially, but a mixtape can get anything out there. Okay. So I'll let you guys hear my works on that, and see my directorial and creative direction on the production side with all the shorts, because every video I shoot is a storyline. So look out for that coming this summer. And follow me, Pha Baby.
For sure. Y'all all got a lot of stuff going on, and now I'm like, dang, what I got going on?
A lot.
Shoot.
A lot.
I just got these bookings. You feel me? I'm back to back. I'm finna go back to bed right after this. I ain't gonna hold you. I've been out in these streets turning up the parties, DJing, so y'all can just catch me, you know, in the booth, behind the board. And I got some music that I'm working on too. I would love to drop something for my birthday, which is Memorial Weekend for sure. So be looking out for that. And I'm releasing my podcast episodes that we've shot over the last couple months. We slow rolling those. So this is like a dope variety show that combines music television, like how we used to watch back in the day, with meaningful evergreen content. So like today we talked about a lot of good evergreen topics, and that is something that you can expect on my show. So y'all just slide onto my website, Vicki Street, watch the Vicki Street show. And you know, if you're an artist and you got some dope music, send it my way. Y'all can send that joint to info@VickiStreet.com. And if it's raw, it just might end up in a set. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say lit.
Okay.
Say lit. I was in P Valley. Thank you so much, Reflective Beauty. Thank you for watching all of my Tubi films. I'm only Tubi famous yet, but we're gonna change that. We're gonna change that.
You said you was on P Valley?
Yeah, first season.
Okay.
That's what. Now I gotta go back and watch. What was your character?
Oh no, listen, I was just a stripper. It's okay.
Oh, not just one, because them strippers were cold in P Valley.
It's just okay. Just a stripper.
I don't deduce you to just that.
Right.
But yeah. Well, look, y'all. I definitely wanna. I don't know if there's no more questions. I definitely want to thank y'all for y'all time. It was definitely time well spent. And I'm gonna be tapping in with y'all, you know, more. I really enjoy. I know you, Jovan, so you know we gonna have our convo.
I'm coming to
Chicago.
Come on, girl.
I'm gonna come to Chicago. Y'all gotta on record though, no cap. I don't care. No, I don't. And I have a lot of good shows here. My best show ever was in Chicago. I had one show. My first time performing in Vegas is coming up, but when I went to Chicago in the end of 2023, I want to say the end of 2023, I had a ball. That crowd was the best energy ever. So I would love to come back up there and do a show. I would love to do anything Chicago based. So let's figure it out. I love Chicago people in terms of the show. Now they scammed me on the way out. So they shy.
Everybody ain't scamming.
I wasn't happy. It was one of the worst trips ever, but the best show I've ever had.
Okay, all three of us got to be on a bill.
Put us on the bill. I'll bring the schizo gang too. We'll bring a couple skits up there. Let's do it.
Oh, yeah.
We gonna tap in. Don't think we ain't. So shoot, I just want to tell everybody, thank y'all for sliding out. Make sure y'all following all the accounts that's on here. The Loop Network, Jump Street Nation on here, Vicki Street, Pha Baby, and Jovan, Jay, Leslie, Monique. You hear me? All right. And we ain't even got to wait till next March to tap in, because the Loop always is doing dope stuff. So make sure you stay tapped into that page. Like I said, follow all of us, because we doing stuff all year round. And I'm going to just wish y'all peace and blessings and abundance, as I always toast to. I know we ain't got no shots right now, but if we did, we would raise them in the air.
That's
We
the
would
water.
raise them and toast.
Right.
I know, right? We would raise them and toast to abundance right now. So thank you, ladies. Continue to make change, all right?
Yes. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having me.